Hi, this is Kristen, and this is my Module 6 reflection over Google. And the first question asks about what I learned in Units 3 and 4. And in Unit 3, I learned about the Google Docs and the Google Slides and the Google Excel and Classroom. And one specific thing that I learned was about the uh, Google Docs and how you can the teacher can like put a link on the doc, and then if you type in that link, then that takes the student straight to the doc, and that way you can edit it. And I didn't know that you could just do the link, because I've always just like shared the document and then it goes to the email and then you can open it, which is the same thing, but I just didn't know there was different ways. And so I actually did this in one of my other classes, and he just put the link on the doc and then we would type it in. But one thing I noticed is that it's different from the bar at the top than what he had on the document. So that was one specific thing that I learned about Google Docs. And then I learned more about how to organize your drive and how to make folders and put the different documents, just make it more useful for yourself, and how to put all the documents like together. So that was one thing I learned in Unit 3. And then in Unit 4 was more about the other apps like Hangout, and like I didn't even know that Hangout was an app, and I had been using Google Drive like all throughout high school, so I really learned more about that. It would definitely be useful in a classroom to keep in touch with your students. So like if a student was gone, you could put your YouTube video of the lecture up and they could watch it, and then they could just chat you and ask you questions or chat with other students. So that's one specific thing that I learned about Hangout on Unit 4. And would I do the whole certification later on? I definitely would, because I think that would be or look really good on a resume if you're trying to get a job, just because technology is growing in schools more and more every year, and I think by the time I'm teaching, it's all going to be somewhere online. I mean, I feel like we're already straying away from books and papers, so having that on your resume could really look good, just because I know how to work with Google Drive, and I know how to teach the students how to work with that. So I would definitely consider doing the certification. The second question asks about my slides and Excel worksheet and docs that I made, and it was really easy for me because I had been using that all throughout high school. And for the Excel worksheet, I would rather use an actual Excel than the Google Excel, just because I feel like there's a little bit more on the Excel worksheet. The Excel document on Google is kind of just simpler, doesn't have as much at the top, but would be good for some people, but I like having that all up there, like the formula bar at the top. So that was my opinion on Excel. For Google Docs, I think it's pretty much the same. Just like I said, a little more simpler, but I've always used Google Docs, so I would much rather prefer using that. And then for Google Slides, I would rather use Google Slides because I like the templates. I like how fun they are and creative, and I'm on PowerPoint, I feel like you kind of have to make that yourself. So for Google Slides, it was just kind of easier, and I would much rather use that. So that was my Module 6 reflection. Thank you.